The first time I met Commander Veilzira, she had just ripped through 3 armored units with her bare hands. It was on the scorched plains of Karthis IV, during the bloodiest week of the Human Zenthari War. We were losing ground, and morale was in tatters. Word had spread like wildfire. A Zenthari warlord, known for unparalleled brutality, had joined the front lines. The brass didn't bother sugarcoating it when they called me into the command tent. "Corporal Elias Trent," General Callis said, arms folded, jaw clenched. "You speak Zenthari dialects, right?" He nodded. "Yes, sir. Fluent in primary and tertiary." "Good. You're going to parley with the commander." He stared. "You want me to negotiate with Veilzira?" The room went quiet. "That's suicide," someone muttered. "Exactly," I said. Callis frowned. "You're not going to negotiate terms of surrender." She requested a meeting. By name. That hit like a punch to the gut. How the hell does she even know who I am? "She called you the Silver Voice," Callis said. "Apparently, your broadcasts to civilians during the siege of Orion City were intercepted. She liked your tone." "So that's how I ended up flying a lone transport deep into enemy territory, unarmed, unguarded, and very much expecting to die." The Zenthari base was carved into a jagged cliffside, a network of bioorganic architecture that pulsed faintly like a living creature. I was escorted by 2 soldiers who looked at me like I was already a corpse. Their armor smelled like ozone and dried blood. Then they brought me to her. Veilzira stood tall, almost 8 feet of lithe, lethal grace. Her skin shimmered like obsidian mixed with starlight, and her eyes were a pale, glowing silver. Her armor, though ceremonial, was scarred from battle, each gash a story of conquest. "Human," she said, stepping forward with slow, deliberate confidence. "You do not kneel." I shook my head. "Didn't bring my kneeling boots." That drew a strange expression from her, something between amusement and surprise. "You are not afraid," she said, narrowing her eyes. "Why?" I met her gaze. "Because fear clouds the mind. And I'd rather see you clearly." There was a beat of silence. Then she laughed. Not a mocking laugh. A real one, deep and resonant. "Everyone fears me," she said, tilting her head. "So why don't you, human?" "Maybe because I don't see a monster," I said. "I see someone tired of being one." The room tensed. Even the guards flinched. Veilzira studied me carefully, like she was deciding whether to slice my throat or offer me tea. "You presume much." "I observe," I corrected. "And I think you didn't call me here to kill me." "No," she admitted. "I wanted to understand. You speak peace during war. You comfort strangers with your voice. That fascinates me. So you want to talk. I want to listen." We spoke for hours. About the war, her people, my people. I learned that the Zenthari once valued art and harmony. But after generations of conquest, their culture had calcified into something brutal, something hungry. Veilzira was born into it, shaped by war, yet she longed for something more. "You don't belong in this war," I said once. "Neither do you," she replied. That became a kind of ritual. I returned to her often under ceasefire flags. We talked philosophy, culture, memory. She recited Zenthari poetry with a voice like thunder wrapped in silk. And slowly something changed. Not just in her. Me. My squadmates thought I was crazy. Few called me a traitor. But the higher-ups saw the value. Because after each visit, Veilzira scaled back her offensives. Prisoners were treated better. Civilians spared. We didn't speak of truces, but there was a quiet understanding taking root. One night, while standing on a cliff under a fractured moon, she asked me, Do your people see you as weak for speaking to me? Some do. And does that wound you? It used to. But now, I care more about what you think. Her eyes lingered on mine. You would not survive among my kind. You're soft. Too open. I'd rather be open than hollow, I said. She stepped closer. I could feel the heat radiating off her. And if I crushed you where you stand? I looked up at her, heart pounding but steady. Then I'd hope my words linger longer than my body. Another pause. Then she said, "You're either the bravest man I've met, or the stupidest. Why not both?" And she laughed again. But peace has a way of threatening those who profit from war. Word spread that I was making the enemy sympathetic, that I was being manipulated. They reassigned me to another front without warning. No contact, no explanation. I fought there for 3 brutal months. No poetry, no moonlit talks, just death. I thought I'd never see her again. Until the Zenthari flagship appeared in orbit above our encampment, broadcasting one message. Return the voice. Or we take him. The base went into panic. Generals screamed. Plans scrambled. And I stood quietly in the middle of it all, stunned. They summoned me. "She's demanding you," Callus said. "Why? What the hell did you do?" "I listened," I said. He stared at me like I'd grown a second head. I walked to the perimeter fence alone. Valzira was waiting. She'd come in person. When our eyes met, it felt like the galaxy held its breath. "You vanished," she said. "They reassigned me," I replied. "Thought I was too close." She reached out and gently placed her hand on my chest. It felt like being cleaved from something I never realized I needed. I swallowed hard. "You came all this way just to say that?" "No," she said. "I came to offer you something." She stepped back, straightened to full height. "I am leaving the war. My people will not follow me. But some may. I will build something new. Something different. I want you with me." And blinked. "You want me to leave with you?" "Yes. You do realize how crazy that sounds. Only to those who've never seen past species and scars." I hesitated. "Why me?" "Because," she said, voice softer than I'd ever heard it, "when everyone else feared me, you didn't." I left that night. Some called it desertion. Others called it insanity. But for the first time in my life, I felt like I was walking toward something instead of away from it. Valzira and I gathered others. Zenthari, humans, and those caught in between. Disillusioned warriors. Dreamers. Survivors. We built a place where old wounds could scar over, not fester. Where words mattered more than weapons. Peace isn't a treaty. It's a choice made every day, against the grain of history and instinct. And sometimes it starts with a simple question. Why don't you fear me? And an honest answer. Because I see who you could be.